Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to try to tackle some of these questions in some long form videos. Along with my short form content, I'm going to try to put out some long form stuff like this as well. We're down in the studio right now. A question was posed to me the other day. What are the first 5 guns that every man should buy? And what are some guns that he shouldn't buy? Or maybe just shouldn't buy yet? That's a difficult question. So I'm going to try to tackle that. Why you should listen to me? You probably shouldn't. I mean, I'm just a guy. I try to be read up on this kind of stuff and I try to be educated, but no prior military experience or anything like that. I've been around guns my whole life and I'm trying to be a prepared citizen. Feel free to critique me in the comments. So first things first, getting started, what's the first gun that you should buy as a prepared citizen, a responsible adult who's thinking about protecting himself, his family, his country, possibly providing for himself? Trying to cover all the bases in just 5 guns is a pretty tall task, but I think this list does it all right. First gun you should buy. If you have no experience in guns at all, I would suggest first things first, going to the range, scheduling some one-on-one time, and starting with a 22 pistol and a 22 rifle. That way recoil is just not an issue. Get used to shooting a gun in the first place at all. Just get used to holding a gun, how they work, and everything like that. The first gun that an adult man who is comfortable with guns should buy is a concealed carry. So this is what I carry. This is a Sig Sauer P365 X Macro, no comp. I went with the no comp because I do believe that every concealed carry weapon should have a weapon mounted light on it. Don't mount it to your toe. Don't do the handheld. I mean, it works, but it's not preferable. It needs to be mounted on your gun because you want both hands on your gun. I went with no comp because if I'm shooting in a low light situation, I don't want that fireball going up above the barrel, blinding me and obscuring the target. An argument could be made for other calibers. I know guys that carry 45, I know guys that carry 40, I know guys that carry 10 millimeter. My argument is, what ammunition is the most easily accessible? Because we all like to think about doomsday situations. We all like to think about apocalypse and martial law and all those kinds of things. But the reality is your 1,000 rounds, or worse yet, 100 rounds of defense ammunition is not going to last you very long in that sort of a situation. So if you care about those kinds of things, and you think there's even a chance that it might happen, you need to be honest with yourself about what kind of ammunition is going to be easiest to find. 45 is going to be pretty easy to find, but it's not going to be as easy to find as 9 millimeter. It's just not. So number 1, some form of concealed carry weapon. Number 2, you need to have a 22 rifle. This doesn't need to be something super fancy or tactical or anything like that. You just need a reliable, simple 22. The obvious answer here is a Ruger 1022. If you want to upgrade, you have the funds, the Fletcher Works 1122 is pretty dang slick. Other than that, a Marlin Model 60, any sort of lever action, just get something that's reliable. All it's going to be is a simple plinker, training implement, and small game hunting rifle. That's what this is. Number 3, if you are actually considering the Minuteman scenario, the prepared citizen lifestyle, high on that list is an all-purpose fighting rifle. So this is not it. This is definitely more of a CQB, close quarters, inside of 150, 200 yards kind of a weapon, especially as it sits with iron sights. I'm not finished building it out. It will have an EOTech on it, hopefully a magnifier as well. But for now, this is gonna be a placeholder. The YouTube community has gone absolutely insane over the word recce lately, but I don't really blame them. I love those videos. I've watched them all. I have a recce build planned. I just don't have it together yet. Hopefully y'all will be seeing that on the channel here shortly. But what you want to do is just maximize your capability in both directions. By maximize your capability, I don't just mean maximize your effective yards, because if you can't come around the corner at all, if you've got 18-inch barrel plus a 10-inch suppressor on there, you're not going to be able to clear a building, and you might have to do both. So in my head, the perfect barrel length, since we're talking about that, is probably between 12.5 and 14.5. I plan to do a build with a 13.7. That way I can get a suppressor on there eventually and be just over 18 inches altogether. You're plenty capable out to 350, maybe 400 yards. You're capable enough getting that thing inside and out of buildings, especially if you collapse a stock. Some sort of magnified optic, some sort of backup iron sight or backup red dot sight, or both. We're talking about redundancies here. You know, in military, they say 2 is 1, 1 is none. They probably have learned that lesson the hard way, so I'm going to believe them on that. You got to have redundancies. If your main optic fails, do you have a backup? Do you have a backup to that backup? Now, I'm not talking about carrying derringers in both pockets and 3 pistols on each ankle. You know, there's a line, so you got to draw that line for yourself. But what I'm saying is redundancies help. An all-purpose build, not a build like this, but an all-purpose build really ought to be pretty light, but also it needs to be able to accomplish many different things. It needs to have a weapon-mounted light. It really probably ought to be an AR platform in 5.56 because, again, we go back to your Minuteman scenario where supply chains are cut off and you're, going through abandoned houses looking for spare ammunition at this point. If your 1,000 rounds runs out and you don't have any more stockpiled and you're not with a community that has been stockpiling, then you're just out of ammo. You're going to be a whole lot more likely to find 5.56 or 2.23 than you are 6 ARC or 6 Dasher or 6.5 Grendel. They're all better than 5.56, arguably. But if you can't feed it, it is a really awkward club. Just be honest with yourself when you choose that caliber. Does performance really, really outweigh the ease of access of 5.56? In my opinion, it just doesn't. So, number 3, fighting rifle. Number 4, you ought to have a 12 gauge. In my opinion, a simple, used, off-the-shelf, pump action 12 gauge is really all you need. You don't need anything crazy fancy or super tactical. Really, the only reason you're buying a 12 gauge is for that scenario when you can't find ammunition for your concealed carry or your battle rifle. You're always going to be able to find 12 gauge. And not to mention, there are so many different types of 12 gauge ammunitions. You can accomplish so many different goals with the same gun. I cannot duck hunt with this. I cannot really deer hunt with this. I could, but I wouldn't want to. But you can defend your home, duck hunt, turkey hunt, goose hunt, deer hunt, 2-legged predator hunt, all with the 12 gauge. I'm talking about skinwalkers, of course. You can hunt skinwalkers. 12 gauge is just very versatile. They have so many different types of ammunition. You got slug and double-aught buck and all the different sizes of shot they have, bird shot, so on and so forth. The options with 12 gauge really are endless, and that's why you just need to have one just in case. Just in case you run out of everything else, you're always going to be able to find 12 gauge. Again, I'm really just speaking in redundancies here. You want to have redundancies. Finally, the last gun on my list, number 5, you need to have some sort of a hunting rifle. And this really is accomplishing 2 goals. Number 1, it's better for hunting big game than 5.56, and it's better than 5.56 at range. Your all-purpose fighting rifle should be able to take care of things out to 350 yards. Really beyond that, you're just throwing lead down range to keep their heads down. But if you have a hunting caliber, be it an AR platform in a hunting caliber, or be it a bolt action rifle, whatever suits your needs best. Something that performs better than 5.56 at range, and something that is also easy to find. In my opinion, right now, this is an AR-10 platform in 308 or 6.5 Creedmoor. Really, you can't get better than those. 308 has been the most easily accessible round for decades for a reason. It's effective, it's relatively good at range, and it's cheap. It's a NATO round. It's going to be everywhere. A 6.5 Creedmoor is just about caught up at this point. The prices are really close. The performance is obviously a bit better. You're not throwing as much weight down range, but it's still plenty capable to take care of deer, mule deer, 2-legged predators, elk if you had to. If you guys are watching from Alaska, a lot of this stuff is geared towards down south, or northern Canada, or even the western U.S. If you have a lot of moose in your area, you might want to think about doing something 308 or bigger here. 308, maybe 30-06, 300 Win Mag kind of would be the cream of the crop there. You're getting a proven military NATO cartridge, you're getting fantastic ballistics out to range, and you're getting something that'll definitely take care of bear and moose, all those kinds of things. So yeah, that's my 5. Just going over them again. Concealed carry, 22, fighting rifle, 12 gauge, and hunting rifle. Again, what calibers you choose is completely up to you. What's most important to me is ease of access for ammunition, ease of access for parts, and reliability. Those are really the only three things that matter to me. If you check all three of those boxes, there's a good chance I'm going to buy it. Moving on to a couple guns that I don't think people should buy, especially when they're first starting out. I am a gun nut. I love them. I want them all eventually. But if you're just starting out, there's a lot more than just guns that you need to buy. So maybe let's just buy the first 5, and then let's focus on the other things that you really need. Your kit, your gear, maybe night vision. I'm preaching to myself here as well. So 4 guns that you probably shouldn't buy, at least yet. Don't buy another AR. If you have 2 ARs, maybe 3 ARs, stop. Don't buy another one. You've got other things that you need to buy. Just let it go. It might be a good deal, you know, but just let it go. I subscribe to the ideology that you probably should have 2 ARs, not just 1. That's why this one is not an all-around fighting rifle, because this is geared specifically towards CQB. And then I have another one that's geared specifically towards longer range. So I've kind of broken my own rules there, but what I'm saying is you don't need to have 9 ARs in your gun safe. There are other things that you need to get. Number 2, a full-size duty pistol is just not a priority. You have your concealed carry, maybe get another holster, an outside the waistband holster to fit on your gun belt. That's really all you need at this point. I think down the road, an argument can be made for a full-size pistol with a little bit longer barrel, more capacity, more capability. All those kinds of things are great things. They're just not a necessity this early in the game. Number 3, some sort of fancy, like tactical semi-automatic shotgun is awesome. It's just not a necessity. If you go get that cheap 12 gauge pump action for $250 from your local gun store, you just don't need to upgrade to a Beretta Ultima A300 or whatever they're called, or Benelli M4. Down the road, you want to spend your money on that, go ahead, man. I think they're awesome. I'm going to get one eventually. I'm just not getting one right now. Finally, a pistol caliber carbine, unless that is your all-purpose fighting rifle, which it absolutely should not be, you shouldn't be getting them yet. Definitely a great option for like a truck gun. There's some questions on the legality of truck guns in today's world. We'll get into that in another video. But they do make a good option because they're so collapsible and compact. But as of right now, you know, a PCC or a PDW is just not really a priority, or it shouldn't be in most of our scenarios. If you don't have full kit, body armor, nods, shelter, and all those things squared away, then, I mean, what are you doing, you know? Get these first 5 and focus on gear and, you know, medical, food and water purification. Those things will put you out of the fight within a week, and you will be a loot drop for somebody else. Just, you got to get your kit squared away before you can think about buying all the other cool stuff. Focus on the first 5 cool things, and then focus on your kit, and then we'll get the other cool things later. All right, that's all I got for y'all today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please critique my opinion in the comments. I love getting in the comments and talking with y'all. Just tell me what you think. Give me video ideas if you got them, and I'll see y'all in the next one.